What is the greatest gift that you've ever received? What's the second greatest gift? And what do you do with it? Those are the three things that we're going to cover today. I do these things called Monday Morning Motivationals. You can check it out. I do a quick little short one about the second greatest gift. And then I've decided I'm come back. I'm going to do a little extra one that's a little bit longer, but goes into some detail. So those are the three things that we're going to cover this week. The greatest gift, the second greatest gift, and what to do with it. So God's greatest gift to us are the dreams and desires that He's placed in our heart. Our gift and thanks back to Him is faith in His ability to empower us to bring it to pass. That's a really strong conviction I got around 2010. Was doing a lot of studying and praying, and it's just something that hit me, and it hit me real strong. But I was in my first and only apartment I've ever lived in, and I walked in the door, and that first line just hit me. It dropped in my heart, and I challenged it because I'm a Christian, I'm a believer. And my greatest gift is, salvation, what was done for me on the cross. And, it was a strong conviction. I believe it was God placed it on my heart. And so, He's right, I'm wrong. And when I challenged, that's, desires of my heart's not my greatest gift. And I was reminded of the verse that says that He has placed eternity in our hearts. And if we take a look at the Egyptians, my son's actually studying this in history right now, and the things they did with mummies and these tombs, these monuments and whatnot, is because they were so focused on eternity. If you take a look at the Greeks and all these other people, they're all obsessed and focused with eternity. And so for me, that's my greatest gift. It's eternal. But it's not just a gift. There's so many gifts that we've been given. And if that's true, the same way that we have a desire for eternity, the same way that we have a desire and thirst for water or to drink, we get thirsty, He's provided water. Why would you have a desire in your heart that there's not a potential outcome of it for? So you see a steak in a magazine, it's juicy, you're hungry, your mouth starts to salivate. How cruel would that be if there was never anything to quench that desire, quench that thirst? So that's why this is so powerful and important to me, because I think it's a fundamental truth that we all have dreams and desires. And if that desire and dream is a gift from God, that means He's not cruel, and that there is a potential for us to actualize it, for us to bring it to pass. And how beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? So, you're dreaming and desiring of marriage or happiness or joy, or to be a mother or a father, or, success in your job. And there's all these things that we desire. People want to change the world. I've got clients that do things in education. I've got clients that are doctors saving lives and doing different things. One of my good friends, known him since I was 5 years old, grew up around the corner from each other in Decatur. Now we live around the corner from each other in Atlanta. At 5 years old, he knew he wanted to be a doctor. That was a dream and a desire of his heart that he pursued and made happen. So think of that. Think on that, really. What if this stuff that's in my heart, what if these things that I desire are possible? They're true. What if the same way that He gave me thirst and created water, what if that same principle is true for what I believe? So, for me, even personally, I've always wanted to be a real estate agent. And I've always wanted to have a certain amount of success. I'm actually doing a vlog right now on, okay, cool. People think I'm successful, but I know what God's placed in my heart, and what I've done and my success, it does not match it. So I'm doing a vlog just kind of chronicling what is it like, what are the changes I'm making along the way to actually self-actualize those dreams and desires of my heart. So take a moment, think about that. That's the gift. That is the gift, your dreams and your desires. So what's the second greatest gift? The second greatest gift. It's right here. I'm in my office today. This is a company provided this, set this up or whatever. So I didn't have it made, but it's just serendipitous. This is above me every day. to believe in yourself. So the quote is, God's greatest gift are the dreams and desires of our heart. Our gift and thanks back to him is faith in his ability to empower us to bring it to pass. So the second greatest gift is the gift you give yourself and the gift you give God, which is belief and believing in yourself. Believing that you have, for example, the same way that there's water to quench thirst, there are gifts and talents and abilities and possibilities and opportunities in your life that will help you quench that desire you have. Now, it's not a snap of the fingers and you make it happen. There are people back in the day where they had to dig for wells. And do you know that the first place they dig might come up dry? The second place they digged might come up dry. But they were thirsty. They knew they had to feed their crops, their family, and their animals. They kept digging till they quenched that thirst. So it's extremely important to know that it won't happen always overnight, but it's possible. And the way that you realize this is not, okay, I believe in myself. Cool. It's passive. No. Belief is an act. It's a verb. I believe that this chair I'm sitting in is going to support me, so I sat on it. It does me no good to stand in a corner believing that the chair could support me and give me some rest and keep standing. You have to go actively do what you believe. You have to actively go pursue what you believe. I remember when I met my wife, there was this random, strong urge to join Match.com. I could not settle. I couldn't do anything else until I joined Match.com. Let me get my lights back on. Motion sensor. Okay. Couldn't do anything until I joined Match.com. It was a belief. The timing was right. I had been single for all those years, but I had to actively go do some things and pursue and take some steps. And within a week, I found my wife on Match.com. You know, there are certain times where I believed I'm supposed to be somewhere or make a call or do something like that. And lo and behold, it turns into a sale. I remember that we struggled to conceive my beautiful daughter. It was very tough on my wife. It's not an easy thing to go through, but I believed. And I don't have the book here with me, but I wrote about a month before we actually conceived Grayson. I released my faith. I wrote it. I declared it. And I had a certain peace about me because I believed. And the quote was, I released my faith for a healthy, natural pregnancy. Because, we were about to do IVF. We were about to do all this stuff because we wanted to have another kid. And long story short, I got active in releasing my faith, believing in myself. In the morning motivation, I talk about Stetson Bennett and how everyone told him no. And he had a strong belief in himself to be the quarterback for UGA and start when no one said he could. And there were all these more talented people ahead of him, but he had a belief in himself. So I want to challenge you with that. I think I got some notes here. One of the things, that's going to be part 3, but one of the things is also, it's a faith in God's ability to empower you. So one of the things that I'm challenged with right now is that my mother was pregnant with me when she was studying for her broker's license. My dad was my first broker, and my sister is my current broker. And I grew up around real estate. Literally from the womb till today, I've been surrounded by real estate. So it's not hard to believe that I'm successful. And if anything, the success I've done by the grace of God, yes, but it's a reflection of the quote talent that I have, a reflection of the background and opportunities I've been given. The level of success I'm trying to reach now, I'm realizing that I'm going to have to lean on someone and something greater than me to help me get to that new level. So that's why I think it's important that we have faith in His ability to empower us to make it happen, to keep us healthy, to keep us motivated, to keep us pursuing opportunities and whatnot. So that's part two, is a belief in yourself and have a belief in God's ability to empower you. If you woke up today, if you can walk, if you can talk, you can pursue your dream. That's step two. So step three, part three, is really, what do you do with all of this? If this is inspirational, if it makes sense, if it's practical to you, what do you do with it? So one of the things that you need to start out with is realizing the difference between fantasy and belief. I've got all kinds of fantasies. I think about having not just a private jet, but a 747, and then I'll get my wife a 787, and just all these crazy things. So, I mean, I don't know, it could happen, but I know when I am fantasizing in my mind about things. But a belief, the kind of belief that I'm talking about, is something that comes from the heart. And it's not a self-serving thing. Like, you can believe for yourself, but if what you're believing for doesn't positively impact others, it's not something that can often be empowered by God. So with real estate, for example, some of the success and whatnot is my clients. So helped clients make over $2.9 million last year. I've got goals to help them make more money. I'm passionate about helping others create wealth through real estate. Technically, theoretically, if I don't actualize and reach my full potential, there might be somebody out there that pays more money out of pocket for a home than what they have to, who might not get the advice they need to make as much money when they sell, who might not be able to create generational wealth for their family unless I help them. Or they might have a horrible experience that gives them stress. Everything's not about money and dollar signs. What about the experience? What about the results of knowing that you've got a professional or whatnot? So it's not about me in the sense of this self-serving, or, when I was believing for my daughter or for my wife or all those things. What is the impact of what you're believing for? Does it bless and help other people? Or is it completely self-serving? Because the self-serving stuff is a fantasy. It's cool, whatever. Daydream about it. But the things that you're supposed to believe help others. So that's one thing. The other thing is, and this was powerful for me, that sometimes the desire is an exit sign. So if this room or building were to catch on fire, I'm going to desire to escape. I'm going to desire to reach safety. Well, I don't look at the exit sign and go try to jump through it. I don't run to the exit sign, grab it. Yes, I can get out. No, the exit sign points to the direction you're supposed to go to get to the safety that you're supposed to find. And sometimes you have to realize that, there's two parts to this, but the first part is that you still must pursue, you still must go in that direction, because it might be an exit sign. It might lead you to the door that you need to go to. So, for example, with Match.com, that was an exit sign. I wasn't supposed to go on Match and, oh man, this is cool, look at all these ladies. No. It pointed me in the direction. It gave me the door to walk through to get to where I was supposed to go. So realize that. Second part of what you need to realize is that it might not be for you. So what I mean by that is, it's for you to pursue the dream and desire. It's for you to go in that direction. It's for you to look for the exit sign. But a beautiful story about that is my sister, who's my broker. We have two offices. We have the College Park office and the Cascade office that she's the managing broker over. And my dad, he always wanted two offices. And I remember as a kid going with him at night, and whenever he could find time to do construction work on some commercial space that he was going to open on Memorial Drive. His first office was on Candler Road, and he's going to open up a second location. Well, that location never opened. That office never got off the ground and was successful. It never got completed, being renovated on the inside. And I remember last year it was so cool, man. I got to play a part in the renovations and making selections and really getting this office, the second office, going. Well, what if my dad didn't pursue his dreams? What if my dad didn't set the examples that he set? What if my dad wasn't my sister's first broker like he was my first broker? And, my dad's looking down proud now because that dream and desire of having it being over a second office is being actualized through my sister. There are other dreams and desires that my dad had that are being actualized through me. I got his name and everything. I might as well. So you got to be okay with that. And you have to know and be inspired that if I don't go after this, if I don't pursue this, I could be affecting someone else's destiny. I could be not honoring God because he's looking at the whole picture, and his picture is a lot bigger than just your lifetime. So, all right. So to wrap things up, I hope you're inspired. I hope you do something with the information that I gave, and let's pursue these dreams. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself truly, and I guarantee you it will change your life. I do have some PS tips. So that is, believe in your kids. Kids actually try to meet their expectations, and when you actually believe in them, love and support them, it's a good thing for you to do. But if no one ever did it for you, find someone you can do it for. So I love believing in my son. I love believing in my daughter, even though she's not old enough to understand or anything like that. But I'm gonna believe in her. Believe in your kids. Let them know what you believe they could do. All right. Number 2, ladies. Ladies. One of my favorite songs, Raheem Devon. Believe in me. Believe in your man. It will do wonders. Don't speak to the kid, speak to the king in him. Believe in your man. Now, I probably need to put a caveat on it, and that hopefully it's someone that you can trust. But if you can trust him, believe in him. It might change his life. It's going to encourage him to do what he needs to do to be the man that he needs to be, and be clear. Show in actions your belief in him. And fellas, we can do the same thing for our ladies. Believe the best in others, especially those that are around you, either co-workers or relationships. That's a little PS tip. But believe in yourself. Stay motivated this week.